Hello everybody and welcome to the TFreak Adventures channel. I am Wayne, and this week I am putting a CarPlay stereo in my 2002 Chevrolet Astro van. Now let me show you something here. I have absolutely no idea why Chevrolet ever thought to invent a 1.5 DIN stereo unit, but that is what is in my Chevy Astro. And if any of you know anything about stereos, you know that there is very little in the way of options when it comes to replacing your stereo with an aftermarket system with anything that has really CarPlay or a touch screen, GPS, anything like that. There are a few single DIN systems that have a screen that kind of comes out and then tilts up, and I really didn't like the idea of putting one of those in because it ends up covering up a lot of your controls. When the thing's in there, when the screen is kind of back in there, I think it looks a little tacky, and it kind of sticks out from the dash, so it's getting away with my cup holders here, and they're really expensive. That's the other thing. So I have a Pioneer MVH 1400 NEX in my Silverado, and have absolutely loved that system. It's got a backup camera. I actually was able to figure out how to wire that backup camera up, and maybe one day I'll make a video about that, so that I can access that camera going down the road. I don't have to actually be in reverse for it to come on. It's powered all the time, and so I can manually choose that camera, and so I really like it. So like when I'm pulling a trailer, I can check my load and stuff like that. Anyway, love that radio, but I believe I paid $350 some odd dollars for just that entertainment system, and then had to buy the wiring harness and all of the things to connect it to my truck. I think I had about $500 tied up in that system before it was done with. And for this van, I wanted a stereo system that was close to that, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money. And so I hit the Cyber Monday deals, and on Amazon, I found a Boss system with really high reviews that literally, like, it looks exactly like my Pioneer system, and has all the same features as the Pioneer system, but I was able to get that stereo and all of the stuff I needed to hook it up here in the van for like $280. So for less than $300, I was able to get everything. So I'm really excited about this. And best thing is, it's a double DIN system. So it's going to have, it's like a 6.7 inch capacitive touch screen, and it's going to have Apple CarPlay, so I'll be able to have my Waze or Apple Maps up or whatever on that screen. And I know you're going, well, wait a minute, you said you had a 1.5 DIN hole. How are you going to put a double DIN system in there? Well, it just so happens that I was able to find online a dash kit that will convert this 1.5 DIN hole to a 2 DIN hole. Now I'll have to do just a little bit of cutting right along here, and possibly even down here a little bit, to make this hole big enough in the faceplate here. But the trim that they give you will cover up all of that so that it looks like it came from the factory with a double DIN system in it. And the kit also comes with a template to cut this, so there'll be no mistakes on that, and it's going to look great. So this week I'm going to be getting this ready, and hopefully by this weekend I'll have it in. It's going to have a backup camera in it and everything, which I'm glad I did the stuff on my truck, because I learned a few things from that on how I'm going to do the backup camera a little bit different here on this van. And by the end of the week, I should have a stereo system in this van with Apple CarPlay and a touch screen, and I am super excited. All right, so let me show you what I have here. I have a Boss Audio Elite BE7 ACP-C stereo system. This is a Bluetooth MP3 compatible AM/FM receiver with 340 watts output. This one actually comes with the rear camera, the license plate camera, which I'm going to repurpose this and reposition it. I don't want it on the license plate, because on an Astro van, the license plate is on one of the doors on the back, and so it's kind of off-centered, and so I want to mount this centered, and so I'll show you later what I'm going to do about that. But yeah, a Boss system here, and it's touchscreen, so there's that. Actually, it has a 7-inch capacitive touchscreen, not a 6.7-inch. So this is a Metra Antenna Works vehicle antenna adapter cable. You're going to need one of these. This part number is 40-GM10. 40-GM10 to fit this Astro van and to plug into the back of the radio. This is the wiring harness for the van, and it's a Metra 70-1858, and this is a pretty generic kit. It fits all GM vehicles, model years 1987 through 2005. So that's this. Before the advent of smart radios and steering wheel controls and all those kind of things. So it's pretty basic wiring harness there. This is important. This is a DIY bypass, and what this does, let me give you a part number on this. It's made by DIY Bypass. Part number is X002 LVGF4H, and what this does is these new stereos like this are designed so that you can't use the video features while you're driving the vehicle, and so they require a wire to be run over from the parking brake, so that the video features are only supposed to work if the parking brake is engaged. What this does is it fools the radio into thinking that the parking brake is engaged all the time. So this is important if you plan to use any of your video features while moving. Obviously, I want to be able to look at my backup camera, and if I have kids in the car, they may want to play a movie or something through this, because it does have audio video inputs. And so I could put an HDMI converter in my truck. I have an HDMI converter in the dash, so I can plug in HDMI, and then it converts it to composite audio video, and that goes into the radio, so that the kids can actually watch a movie on my Pioneer while driving on the road. So eventually I'll do that same thing with this one. So I just went ahead and I'll build this into the wiring harness. This, the USB connections for this stereo are on the back of the stereo, and I want to have USB hookups inside my van, and so I'll show you what I'm going to be, how I'm going to accomplish that later. Just know this is going to be installed in the van, and then it'll plug into the back of the stereo. So that's how my Apple CarPlay is going to work. That's what I'll plug into, and I will have an extra little box under the rear heat controls that I'm going to appropriate and install this in. So it's going to look like it came from the factory with that. This is the kit that I told you about, the dash kit, to convert this 1.5 DIN hole to a 2 DIN hole. And this is actually a Metra kit. It's for GM Astro Safari, and the number on it, the part number, is 95-3005. And so this has everything in it that I need to convert that from a 1 DIN, 1.5 DIN hole to a 2 DIN hole. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this all works out. So yep, that's that. And like I told you, it comes with all the templates you need and everything in case you need to do any cutting. So that's all of the parts. Like I said, I'm going to put a description down in the bottom for each one of these, part numbers, and a link to Amazon where you can get all of this, every bit of this, except for the dash kit. And I bet you put this part number in there, 95-3005, I bet it's on Amazon. I bet you'd be able to find that dash kit there as well. All right, I'm going to do this in stages, and so the next stage that I'll be working on is going to be the wiring harness. And so I'm going to let this video just kind of serve as an overview because it's already getting a little longer than I'd like for it to be. So this is just going to be an overview of everything that I'm going to be doing. And like I said, I'll put all the information down in the description for you. And then you'll need to tune back in for part 2 of this series on the radio installation to see my wiring harness build. All right, so see you next time.